So a good example is my partner and I actually had a med air a couple, maybe 6 months ago. We were flying, it was like 1 a.m. We were flying into the mountains. It was a rough flight. We were both motion sick. Landed at the small rural hospital. They were using a med that we hardly ever use, but they wanted it continued. So we did that. We were trying to do a really fast load for this particular patient who is having a STEMI, a kind of heart attack. And through the translation from their IV pump to our IV pump, we got the rate completely wrong on the medication they were given, and we didn't realize it until we landed. We're like, oh, that's why their blood pressure was so weird, because we had this running at like 1/10 of what they did. And with that, what's really cool about the just culture like concept is that there was no like, we're not sweeping that under the rug. I called my boss at 1 a.m. and said, hey, Jen, we fucked up. We had this happen. And, we reported ourselves. And what that came down to was a meeting with us and our medical director. And we looked at it and we said, all right, so like this was our mistake. We didn't triple confirm this med. So like that's on us. And in the future, my action step is going to be doing these 3 things to triple check the med. And you're damn sure I do that every single time now, because that was a really shitty situation. But then they looked at it and they were like, okay, so we noticed that in the pumps, you overrode this setting because it wasn't correct. So let's get these programmed correct so it goes from that facility to this one. Let's rewrite the protocol a little bit to make the conversion, this med math, a little bit easier. And then we took that to the group and we presented our mistake to our group, and were able to really help other people do it. You said earlier in the podcast, if you have a question, Google it, because other people have it too. And we presented that mistake, and the room isn't like, oh, dumbasses, why did you do this? The room is thinking, wow, that could have really easily happened to me, or I didn't think about this as a possibility, or how this is going to affect me. So being able to learn from your mistakes, being able to allow other people to learn from your mistakes is huge. And you're going to make them. Like I said, I've been doing this for a long time and I make mistakes regularly. So it's fair to assume that somebody that's never packed a wound before, that's never called 911 before, that's never dealt with a stroke or heart attack, they're probably going to make mistake in care. And if that's you, it's okay. Like, at least you were trying to intervene, trying to help. You weren't filming it with your cell phone. If you're filming it with your cell phone, that's a mistake. You fucked up and there's nothing you're going to do about it. So next time, maybe get off your cell phone. But with everything else, like, just give yourself some grace and try to learn about it, and don't jump down the throat of the person that's trying to give you some criticism afterwards.
I love that, because I've been in similar job environments where it's like, it's never a bad thing. If you own up, you say that, and then they say, okay, let's make a system to fix that. Let's fix our training. Let's change our like, make sure everybody's aware of that so that it doesn't happen to them. And it's only you only fail is when you don't learn from it. I think, every mistake is a learning experience, and unfortunately, a lot of jobs it's like, oh, you fucking idiot, you did it. If you
Yep.
do a mistake, when it should be a case of, why did it happen? Okay, it shouldn't have happened, but let's do it. And I think that's great. It's like, top performers, they notice something, they admit their fault, and then they go, okay, how do I change this? How do I make my performance better? And, I mean, yes, like, I've done a lot of stupid things and I've looked back and gone, oh, fuck.